Alright everyone, Cowboy Trades here. Welcome back to the channel for another update on Bitcoin. So this is the single most important chart that you will see on crypto YouTube right now. This is the most important Bitcoin chart that I have covered since my channel's inception at the start of the bear market. This single chart will pretty much decide whether Bitcoin is about to break into a bull market or a bear market. But before we dive into this important chart, let's quickly update what has been happening for Bitcoin while I have been away for the past few days. So Bitcoin has been absolutely nuking for the past week, and we've been getting continuation in the past few days since I've been away from the channel. A lot of this has been well predicted in the charts that we've been looking at, such as the regular bearish divergence, which has been playing out since 31,000, where we topped out and have been getting absolutely rugged since then. The bearish divergence is still extremely strong right now, and as you can see, the MFI still has further room to move to the downside while this divergence plays out. We've also been talking about how the stochastic RSI was playing this beautiful double top fractal, where in the price action we made a high and a higher high at the top of the bull run, and over here we made a high and a higher high on this what we perceive as a dead cat bounce, and this beautifully lined up with a double top M pattern in the stochastic RSI with more room to come to the downside. We've also been looking at this chart over here, the Bitcoin diamond top pattern. We have beautifully broken to the downside of this, and if we do come over to the 4-hour time frame, since we almost perfectly retested the breakdown of the diamond top formation, we've been getting crashed against the EMA ribbons, making lows, lower highs, lows, lower highs in the EMA ribbons, lows, lower highs, and it looks like on the 4-hour time frame on the EMA ribbons we are very close to reverting into the mean, and what we do next is going to be very crucial. As you can see, the short-term moving average for Bitcoin right now is coming in around about 27,000. The long-term moving average on the 4-hour time frame is coming in around about 27,600. So all in all, don't be surprised if Bitcoin remains a little bit range bound at this moment in time, and we'll explain why this range could persist for a while longer in our final chart. But also, just a couple of other price targets and things you need to keep your eyes on. The head and shoulders we've been talking about on the channel, we've broken to the downside of this. The price target of this is still down here at 23,400, but there is a potential likelihood of a bounce. Now, we've been looking at this neckline on the channel, but there's no reason that you can't draw the neckline up here where you've got candle body closes, candle body closes, candle body closes, and then we've tanked through this. So is it possible for Bitcoin to pump up to 27,500 and still be bearish? It's possible. If we come over to the EMA ribbons, is it possible for Bitcoin to revert up to the short-term moving average 27,500 before breaking down? It's possible. When we get into our final chart, the most important one, I'll explain to you why I think Bitcoin could remain range bound for a little bit longer. But while we're wrapping up, a quick reminder, we obviously do have one potential price target to the upside, 36,000, but if we look to the downside, we've got a lot more going on. We've obviously just fallen to the downside of the daily EMA ribbons at 27,000. We've got the 200 moving average. We're currently retesting this at 26,000. We've got a CME gap at 24,800. We've got a head and shoulders price target down at 23,400. Between these price targets, we've got the bull market support bands between 25,300 and 24,500. We've got a CME gap to fill down at 20,300, and we've got a beautiful bar pattern with a spiky top, and as you can already see, we're starting to melt down in the past few days, and on the weekly time frame we've got a bearish engulfing. So this is looking like a picture perfect bar pattern in the making, with lots of price targets developing beneath us, but only one major price target above us at this moment in time. So that's really what I wanted to update in the lower time frames. I do have 3 other charts which I'm going to absolutely fly through. Over on the total cryptocurrency market cap, we quite recently got rejected on the macro 618 Fibonacci, and we're currently retesting the 200-week moving average and the bull market support bands. That is incredibly important. We've got a major decision to make in this chart. Over on the total altcoin market cap, we almost got rejected from the 618 Fibonacci, and we've now broken back down, and we're sitting on this major downtrending line of resistance throughout the entire bear market. We've been sitting on this for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks, moving lower and lower and lower every single week as we retest this. The more and more we retest this, the weaker and weaker it gets. These charts are extremely important, and they let us know that the total cryptocurrency market cap and the total altcoin market cap has a very important decision to make. I will also just quickly touch on the fact that the equity markets are looking extremely weak. I don't want to dive into S&P 500 analysis in this video. I just wanted to let you know the last major video we uploaded 2 days ago, the bear market is not over. We detailed a ton of S&P 500 analysis, looking at new charts and also looking at some charts on my Bloomberg terminal. If you haven't watched this, I do highly recommend to go and check this out. If you enjoyed this video and you've already watched it, do bear in mind I have got some new Bloomberg charts that I do want to discuss in the next 24 hours or so. So if you do also enjoy my S&P 500 content, make sure to turn notifications on, because we will have a new Bloomberg based S&P 500 video coming out very soon. The reason why I wanted to quickly highlight the S&P 500 analysis and this chart over here is because I want to let you know, before we do move into our final Bitcoin chart, a lot of the analysis I make on Bitcoin, a lot of the reasons why I think we would break in direction X or Y is based on what is happening in the equity markets. We may not talk about the S&P 500 every video, but my thoughts on what's happening in the equity markets are also baked into my altcoin and Bitcoin analysis. So let's get into the bread and butter of this video. The reason why you clicked on it, you want to know what the most important chart for Bitcoin is right now. Before we dive into this, if you enjoy the content, make sure to leave a like down below, subscribe if you haven't already, if you're enjoying the content. But let's talk about this chart. Now, there are 4 major things happening on this chart right now. Let's talk about number 1. This is the fact that Bitcoin has just got rejected from this major resistance box. Now, this was support, this was support, this was support, this was support all throughout the distribution phase at the top of Bitcoin's bull run. This got flipped as resistance up at 32,400. We then broke back down into new bear market lows, 15,500. We then bounced back up and got rejected, not in this big red box here, which encompasses, candle body closes, some wicks here, but we specifically got rejected from this smaller resistance box, which it just encompasses the last lows down here at 28,000, and it also encompasses a bunch of wicks that we found as support. Basically, whenever we came into here and wicked, we had huge moves up as it was held as support, and when we flipped this as resistance, we had huge moves down as we flipped it as resistance. We're, of course, in the past few weeks having some pretty nasty candles, with this week being a bearish engulfing candle. But I digress. This is one of the most important things that we should be focusing on right now. We've just got rejected from this box. Number 2, and the second most important thing, is the 200-week moving average. So this chart alone is very neutral at this moment in time if you're looking at the macro objectively, because you can argue we're bearish as we've rejected from this 28,000 region, but you could also argue we're bullish as long as we hold the 200-week moving average as resistance. So right now, Bitcoin is trading within this extremely tight range. To the upside, we've got this resistance box at 28,000. To the downside, we've got this 200-week moving average coming in at right now 26,150. Do bear in mind the 200-week moving average is going to continue rising exponentially every single week. So coming into Monday, this may be at 26,300, and then coming in the next week, this will be higher and higher, pushing us into a tighter and tighter consolidation zone. So this range right now that we are trading in is extremely important. The touch points that we had at 28,000, and to the downside, the 200-week moving average at 26,150 approximately. This is absolutely crucial. Now, to top this chart off, if we now load in the weekly EMA ribbons, you can basically see the long-term moving average is actually hiding underneath the 200-week moving average, and the short-term moving average has its final level of support at 25,300. If we now load up the bull market support bands, you can see this is holding support at 25,300 down to 24,670. So when we're looking at all of these together, you can see Bitcoin is trading within a very crucial range. The main things you need to focus on are, of course, at least in my opinion, this range up here between 28,000 and the support of the 200-week moving average at 26,150. But if you want to also incorporate the bull market support bands and the EMA ribbons, these are extremely important. With that being said, if you start to see Bitcoin break beneath 26,150, major warning sign. If you see Bitcoin break beneath the weekly EMA ribbon support at 25,400, major warning. If you see Bitcoin break beneath the bull market support bands 24,600 and have a weekly candle body close beneath this structure, this entire run that was supported by a back test of the moving averages and then a higher high is going to be invalidated, and Bitcoin will unarguably be looking like it is going to be moving lower. So to quickly summarize, between 28,000 and 26,150, this is the most important zone that Bitcoin is currently trading in. Don't be surprised if Bitcoin just trends sideways for the next few days or so before making a decision. Until Bitcoin does make a decision, don't expect for the cryptocurrency markets to make any major moves. And with that being said as well, definitely don't underestimate Bitcoin's ability to crab for a bit longer and remain range bound. We of course do have resistance up here at 28,000, which on the weekly time frame we haven't retested. It would not be surprising to pump back up to 28,000 before coming back down. Also do bear in mind we've got EMA ribbons that we could potentially reject from at 27,500. We've got the neckline of the head and shoulders pattern at 27,500. We've got the major resistance that we haven't retested up at 28,000. So with that being said, don't be surprised if we come up to 28, come down to 26, come up to 27, come down to 26, chop sideways for the next few days, maybe the next week, before, in my opinion, we break back down. If we do, of course, just on Monday, absolutely nuke through 26,000. That's a different story. I'll, of course, keep you up to date. But yeah, that's all I've got for you today, my friends. As always, if you do enjoy my content, let me know down below by leaving a like and a comment. Share the videos with your friends. If you want to further support the channel, feel free to click the join button and become a member today. Thank you as well for your patience over the past 2 days while I have been away from the channel. I obviously did update the S&P 500, all the altcoins that I cover, and Bitcoin, predicting these breakdowns before I did leave. But I know, of course, as the markets were nuking, you probably wanted another update. As I'm sure many veterans of the channel know, I practice kendo Wednesday to Friday pretty much the entire day, and I'm not at home throughout these days because I do go traveling on these days as well to different dojos in the country. So, with that being said, as always, thank you for your patience while I do balance these two different things. This is why I always recommend to come and follow me over on Twitter, because as I have been away, I've been updating everything. Bloomberg charts on the S&P 500, updating Fed commentary, scheduling content to come out on days that I'm not out, posting my thoughts on altcoins, updates, Bitcoin charts as they do develop. If you don't follow me over on Twitter at 618_cowboy, when I am away on Wednesday to Friday, you will be missing out on that extra content that I do post. So for today, my friends, like I said, all I've got, it's been your boy Cowboy Trades. I'm out. Peace.